So I represent Charles Darwin University in Australia, and I am from Northern Territory. I'm based out of Northern Territory, and Charles Darwin University is located in Northern Territory. That's my contact details. So I am Girish Iyer. I am the Regional Marketing Manager for the university, and that's my email ID and mobile number. And you can reach out to me on that mobile number and email ID anytime you like. So without wasting any more time, let's dig in. So let me give you a brief information about Darwin, where Darwin exactly is located. So you have the map of Australia. So Darwin is located on the top northern part of Australia. It's also called as top end. And the CDU, Charles Darwin University, has a number of branches across Australia, but we have 3 branches, campuses, in Darwin. The main campus of the university is Casuarina campus. We also have a waterfront campus, which is a city campus where we run our business programs, and we have the Palmerston campus where we run our vocational education programs as well. We do have a campus in Sydney where we run our IT and nursing courses, and we also have a campus in Alice Springs. Darwin, because it is located on the top north, is very, very close to Asia, and it is also one of the most diverse multicultural cities in Australia as well. Being very, very close to Asia, we get a lot of students from Asia as well. Singapore is only 4 hours, Jakarta is only 2 hours, so we get a lot of students from Southeast as well as the South Asia part as well. About the university, so these are some of the key achievements of the university. I'm not going to talk about all of them, but let me highlight one of the most important ones, which is the number 2 ranking in full-time graduate employment. So Charles Darwin University ranks number 2 in graduate employment outcome for all our international students, particularly for our international students who are doing postgraduate courses. University ranks number 1 in postgraduate employment outcome across Australia as well. Being the only university located in Northern Territory, we do offer courses across wide range of areas, study areas, and I'll show you the study areas in a minute. But we are also one of the top 100 APAC ranking university, which is the Asia specific ranking as per Times Higher Education. So these are some of the important achievements of the university from that perspective. So these are some of the study areas that we offer. So you have business and accounting and engineering, IT, health programs, and there are sciences, research, law. There are so many other programs that we offer as a university, and all the courses under each of these study areas we offer, right from certificate, diploma level programs to PhD level programs. So you get the whole range of the courses that you can do, and you can join for whichever program you would like to join at the university. I'm not going to talk about all the courses that are there at the university, but I'll highlight some of the courses that are popular, particularly for Pakistan market. Basically business, engineering, IT, and the health related, education related courses as well. So I'm keeping a tab of the time just so in case that I don't overrun. So these are the courses that we offer in business and accounting. So we have MBA, we have professional accounting, two masters program. One is MBA and the other one is Master of Professional Accounting. We also have 2 business programs. We have Bachelor of Business and Bachelor of Digital Enterprise. All our accounting programs are accredited by CPA Australia, and the business program has a number of specializations, as you can see, which the students can do a single major or a double major. The Digital Enterprise is a new program which has a combination of management, marketing, and IT. So students who want to become a business analyst or a system analyst, they can particularly do the Digital Enterprise program as well. Coming on to the engineering and IT, we do offer courses in engineering IT as well under 3 specializations. One is your mechanical engineering, the other one is civil and structural engineering, and the third one is electrical and electronics engineering. And we offer courses both at bachelor's as well as master's level. The students can do program as per their entry point. In IT, we do offer a range of courses across cybersecurity, data science, information systems, software software engineering, and also the combination of information systems and data science program. Again, at master's level as well as at bachelor's level. So at bachelor's level, they are predominantly called bachelor's of IT, which is information technology, and bachelor of computer science. So those are the courses we offer at the engineering and IT areas. Moving on to the health and health sciences, we do offer a range of courses in health sciences. So whether it is a bachelor course or a master's course or an advanced diploma course, we have nursing, midwifery, psychology, medical laboratory science, nutrition, social work, occupational therapy. These are some of the very niche programs that we offer in the health sector. Nursing is one of our most popular programs at the university. And there are other programs like medical laboratory science, social work, occupational therapy. These programs, and including the nursing, they all have clinical placements, or what we call as integrated work learning as part of the program, which is, you probably might know as internship, which is an unpaid internship. But the advantage is that these internships, the university finds it for the student doesn't have to find. So these, most of our master's courses at business, at engineering, IT, and health courses, and some of the other areas, they all have internship or work integrated learning as part of the program, which is in the final semester of the program that you do. And I think it's around, except the health, it's around, for other programs, it is 300, minimum 300 hours of training. For some of the health courses, it's more than, I think around 880 hours of clinical placements or internship that they have to do at a certain level in the final semesters. Looking at education, we also offer courses in education from bachelor's and master's, and the students who wants to become a registered teacher, they can do this program, and there are various specializations we offer. Obviously, the three specializations is early childhood teaching, primary teaching, and secondary teaching. And all these programs at bachelor's and master's, they lead to teachers registration. The requirement is that your IELTS requirement has to be 7 overall, whether you're doing a bachelor or a master program, and also your individual bands has to be 7 as well. And these programs will lead into your teachers registration if you want to become a teacher, which is a high skilled demand job occupation in not just in Northern Territory, in Darwin, but also for the rest of the Australia as well. So this is another excellent program that we have, which is called Emergency and Disaster Management. It's a very unique program, and very few limited universities in the world actually offer this program. We have a Masters of Emergency and Disaster Management. Students from any background can actually come and do this program. They don't need to come from a specific background. The requirements are also quite competitive, or the IELTS requirement is 6.5 with no band less than 6. So that is the requirement for the program. One of the other things that I wanted to probably highlight was the scholarship that the university offers, which probably is not mentioned because it's a very newly announced scholarship. So we have a 30% CDU Global Merit Scholarship for all the students guaranteed who meet the entry requirement of the course. So any academic and English entry requirement of the program, the students meet those requirements, CDU will provide 30% CDU Global Merit Scholarship for the duration of the course. So till you study your program, whether it is bachelor's or master's, you will get the 30% scholarship every year. You just have to maintain a certain GPA, which is 4.5, which is the passing mark, and you will continue to get the scholarship in each semester that you study at the university, right? I think I have probably a few more minutes. So these are some of the vocational education courses that we offer at the university. The students can pick any of those packages, whether they want to do hospitality, whether they want to do events management, whether they want to learn about tourism. Hospitality package is one of our most popular one, but you can obviously pick the way you want. And most of these courses are 2 years courses, or that we offer at bachelor's and master's level, and at vocational education level as well. So the students will be eligible for up to 4 years of post-study work rights as part of those, as part of the regional Australia CDU. Charles Darwin University and Darwin comes as a regional place. So students will be eligible for up to 4 years of post-study work rights in Darwin. So after you finish your degree as well. These are other vocational courses we offer in hairdressing, beauty services that the student can choose from. And as you can see, all those courses are more than 2 years, so you will be eligible for the post-study work rights, right? Just to give you a quick understanding of the cost of living and the accommodation and the per hour pay rate in Darwin or in Northern Territory. We have a campus accommodation in the campus itself in Darwin, so student can stay on the campus, which is probably one of the cheapest accommodation, and the costing is given in the detail. So you have the first column is the on-campus accommodation, which is IHT, and you have the other accommodations. Probably the highlight is the public transport. So in Darwin, the public transport is only $1, 1 day, unlimited travel. So you don't spend more than $7 a week. So that is the cheapest in the country in terms of public transportation. In terms of your income, you basically also Northern Territory and Darwin has a higher pay rate than the rest of the Australian state and territories. So on an average, you would make $24 on a weekday, $26 hour on a Saturday, and $29 per hour on a Sunday as well. So this is just to give you an idea about the income and the expense level that you do at the university. How to apply? There are various steps that you need to follow. You can also connect through one of our education agents in Pakistan, and they can help you out with the complete process. They are aware of the CDU application and admission process, and they will guide you through that entire process for any of the students that are interested in applying for the course. And they will give you the entry requirement and the eligibility for most of the courses as well. If not, please get in touch with me, and I'm happy to answer all your questions. I think we have a few minutes for the questions. That's the sunset, which is next to the beach, for Casuarina Beach, which is part of the university. But I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have, because I have, I think, a few more minutes. I have a few more minutes, so I can just quickly tell you, accommodation on the campus is probably the cheapest option. There are different types of accommodation in the campus itself, so student can choose the different types of accommodation, starting from $140 per week to $220 per week. Even if you are a family, you're coming with a married couple, you can still stay on the campus, and there is a separate campus accommodation for married couple as well. You can stay separately rather than with the students. Public transportation is very good in Darwin. I myself use public transport. I don't drive. The bus stop is right outside the campus, and you can access the bus anytime. It's 24/7. In between the campuses as well, especially between Casuarina campus and the waterfront campus. The waterfront campus, which is the city campus, is also located next to the bus stop. So the transportation wise, it's very easy. There is no traffic in Darwin, so you can actually commute within 15 to 20 minutes in Darwin from any location. Particularly, we don't have any medicines program at this stage. University has announced that we will be starting off a medical school very soon, but that's going to happen probably in the coming years. I'm not sure about the exact date. So scholarship, we do offer 30% scholarship, which is a guaranteed scholarship to all those students who meet the eligibility criteria, which is academic eligibility criteria and English criteria for the course. So most of the students do get this scholarship, and that is for the duration of the course, whether it is a 3-year program, 2-year program, or a 4-year program. Please send me all your questions in an email, and I'm happy to respond to all your questions as well. Okay, so I have a few more minutes here. So I'm just reading through the chat boxes and answering your questions. So somebody was asking about the value of community service internship with a new admission officer when assessing. So it depends upon the course, whichever course the student is planning to do, they will value whatever community services that they have done. Primarily, only they first look at the academic requirements of the course, what the student has studied, and then the English requirement of the course. If they meet that, then the remaining, those are the primary entry requirements. The rest are value addition, and definitely that's a value addition as well. The master's programs, all master's programs are for 2 years. International students are advised to do 2 years program minimum, because then they will be eligible for the post-study work rights, which is a profile of 4 years. If you do less than 2-year programs, then you will not be eligible for the post-study work rights. So it is not advisable. Suggestion it would be to always apply for a course that is 2 years or more than 2 years. So we have two intakes and technically three intakes this year. So when usually we have the two main intakes that we have is February intake, which starts at the end of February in the first week of March. The second intake we have is August intake. July end we start the orientation and the teaching starts in the August. And the third intake, which is a summer intake, which is a very smaller intake, starts in the month of November. And there are limited courses that are offered in November, but all the courses are offered within the February intake and the August intake of the university. I'm just trying to read through. So if the students are wanting to apply for any of those courses, what you do is you can, as a first starting point, you can get in touch with me and you can let me know that these are the students who are wanting to apply to the Charles Darwin University. I can do a separate session only for your schools or your students, and I can give out all the information. I can tell them about how which admission process to follow, what documents are required and everything, because we have a less time in this session. But I'm happy to organize a separate session for your school, for your students, and take you through that entire details of applying for undergraduate program or a postgraduate program, or even for an vocational education program as well. All levels of English, whether IGC, O levels, A levels are accepted. Every program has a different level. So when you go visit the website, and I'm happy to put a link on the presentation before I send it to Savi, that has all the specific information for specific countries. So particularly from Pakistan, what would be the A level requirement, what will be the O level requirements, what is the IELTS requirement, and what is the PTE requirement as well. So we do accept PTE. For entry into the courses for admission purposes, we do accept Duolingo as well, and that will depend upon the course. But keep in mind that Duolingo is only accepted for the university admission process. For the visa process, the student still has to apply, has to appear for IELTS or PT exam. So that will give some time frame for the student to prepare and apply, but that is required as well as part of the program. Just let me talk about Darwin as well as for Sydney campus. So we do have a campus in Sydney. So we offer Masters of Cybersecurity and Master of Data Science program from our Sydney campus. The scholarship will apply to Sydney campus as well. It is a CDU campus, so students can study there. The nursing programs are also offered from Sydney campuses, both bachelor's as well as masters. So student can do those programs as well from the Sydney campus. And the intake for nursing is next year, which is February 2023. Whereas for IT courses, they can apply for the August intake, and they can also apply for the November intake, both for Casuarina campus, which is the Darwin campus, as well as for the Sydney campus as well. So most of the entry requirements for a bachelor's program is year 12, the student should have completed minimum 60% from a IGSE or any private board. If they are coming from a state boards in Pakistan, then they need to have minimum 65%. From an English requirement point of view, most of the bachelor's courses have an IELTS requirement of overall 6 bands with no band less than 6. For special courses like teaching and nursing, the IELTS requirement is 7. For master's courses, students who wants to apply for master's program, I think the requirements are again the same, 60% from any of the Pakistan universities, and they can apply for other courses as well. But primarily for bachelor's student, the minimum requirement is 60% from private boards and 65% from state boards of Pakistan, and they can apply for those courses. They can apply and meet any of our agents as well, and they'll be able to help you out. But as a starting point, as I said, please connect with me first for your particular student or for your school. And what I'll do is I'll organize a separate session for you all and go through the more information in more detail, including the course information. And I'm happy to share all the entry requirements as well for you guys. And you can keep in touch with me. I'm happy to connect anytime on WhatsApp or on emails as well. I'll share my contact details on the chat box so that you all are aware. I'll send my email ID. And this is my Australia phone number, which will work on WhatsApp as well. So you can always, WhatsApp. I'll share it with everyone so you all are aware. Give me 1 second. I think that's it. That brings me to the end of the presentation. Let me check. So students who are basically from an IB background, depending upon the course, their requirements would be listed on the course website, and whether they want to do an education course or they want to do a teaching program or they want to do engineering and IT, all this information is actually listed on the website. So what I'll do is before I share the presentation slide, I'll put a link of each of those courses in those programs. So when you click on that, you will be able to see the entry requirements of exactly what you need to achieve primarily for the IB students who are studying. Great. Any other questions at all? I think Melissa is already here, so Tando, thank you. I don't want to take too much of a time, but thank you everyone for attending my session, and please do connect with me anytime. I'm happy to help you out. Over to you, Sabi.
Thank you so much, Girish. Hi, everybody. Assalamu alaikum. And hi, Melissa. Thank you for being here with us. Just before you begin, let me just welcome everyone, because the moment Girish joined, he just started off. And because we are really very short of time and we have to manage the sessions on a timely manner. So everybody, please welcome to this session. We are really grateful that so many of you have taken out the time today to join us. I'd just like to very quickly brief you, because some of you know me and the organization, but I'll just introduce Innovative Research Universities. It's a group of 8 Australian universities, and I've been working with them in Pakistan for the last 4 years. I'm in my 4th year with them. So the session, why we planned this session is obviously to inform you, share the information about these universities. But please, I think this is a great opportunity for you to interact with the international office staff and of course the in-country reps that we have from among these 8 universities. Please feel free to ask questions. There was a sound or connection issue with Girish's presentation, so I'm sorry you guys had to write the questions in the chat box. But hopefully with all the other speakers, we won't face that issue. The format is that it's a 10 to 15 minute presentation by the speaker. And after that, 5 to 10 minutes of question answers. So I hope you'll enjoy this time. And again, thank you, Beaconhouse, for giving us this opportunity. And we're really looking forward to the rest of the sessions. Melissa, I'm handing over the mic to you. Thank you so much. You're the second presenter, and please feel free to start. Thank you.
Thank you, Sabi. And hello, everyone from Beaconhouse. Lovely to virtually meet you all. Hoping everyone is well. I'm going to share my screen and share a bit of a presentation about Flinders University. So I'm hoping that you can see my screen now.
Yes, Melissa, can you please start the presentation so that we can see if it's rolling? Yes, it's done. It's going ahead. Thank you.
Perfect, wonderful. So as mentioned, my name's Melissa Willoughby. I've shortened my name because it's quite long. It doesn't really fit on the Zoom name, so I've got quite a long name, but my Mel is also fine. And I'm the country recruitment manager here for South Asia and Africa at Flinders University. So Flinders University is based in Adelaide, South Australia. And I always start with this slide because a lot of people don't know about Adelaide. It's one of the smaller cities in Australia with a population of about 1.67 million. So yeah, quite a smaller city, but it really has a lot going for it in terms of a city to study in. So it's a very safe, it's a very clean, it's a very affordable city. It's much more affordable than some of the larger cities like Brisbane, Sydney and Melbourne. And it also is called the Festival City. So there's lots of festivals, events and activities throughout the year. It's a very livable city. In my opinion, the best city to study in Australia, but obviously I'm a little bit biased because I live here, but it is a really fantastic city. Something else that's worth knowing about Adelaide, South Australia is that when students study here, they do get an extra year of post-study work rights. So if students study somewhere like Melbourne or Sydney or Brisbane, one of the biggest cities, they do still get like for undergraduate 2-year post-study work visa and for postgraduate 3-year post-study work visa. But if they study in Adelaide, South Australia, they get an additional year. So they get 3 years for undergraduate and 4 years for postgraduate. So that is an extra added bonus of studying in Adelaide, South Australia. And we do that because our government in South Australia is very much about attracting and keeping talented people in our state. So I'll now go into a bit more information with you around Flinders University as well. So Flinders was established in 1966, so just over 55 years. And we have approximately 26,000 students. And of those 26,000, 5,106 students are from more than 90 countries. So we have a very diverse classroom, which means a great learning environment for students as well. We teach in over 500 programs. So we're a comprehensive university. We teach undergraduate, postgraduate, and research programs. So pretty well anything that students would want to study, we offer here at Flinders University. We also have some very good ratings in terms of #1 in South Australia for overall experience, as well as teaching quality, learning engagement, and student support. This is a bit of an aerial view of the campus. So it's a big, green, beautiful campus. There's about 40 hectares. So we do have loop buses that take students wherever they need to go on campus. So we don't expect students to walk everywhere on campus. There is connection buses to take them where they need to go. But the good thing about the campus is it's very much like that, US style, everything you need on campus. So you come to campus, there's restaurants, cafes, post office, pharmacy. We've got a public and private hospital on campus. So pretty well anything you'd need, you'll find on campus. It also is, as I mentioned, big, green and beautiful. So there's lots of spaces for students just to be able to really, think and learn and connect with other students. So it's a really good learning environment. We have 3 campuses. Our main campus, which I'm showing you the aerial view of, is our Bedford Park campus. And the majority of our programs are taught here, where I am today at Bedford Park. Tonsley campus is our tech campus, and that's 5 minutes away from the Bedford Park campus. And the bus will take students between the 2 campuses. The tech campus is where we teach engineering, IT, computer science. Our New Ventures Institute is based at the Tonsley campus. It's where we teach things like Venture Dorm. So students can do basically a startup boot camp, taking an idea through to, from idea through to business. And the Tonsley campus is in a technology and innovation centre. So there's all businesses and startups all on the campus as well. So students are learning in an environment of innovation, technology, and also industry. So it's really great, especially when they come to do their placements. They're already surrounded. A lot of our placement providers are actually based in Tonsley as well. So it's a really excellent learning environment. And then we have our Victoria Square campus. So Victoria Square campus is our city campus, and it's where we teach our postgraduate business and our postgraduate government programs as well. And at this present moment, we're actually building a second city campus, which is right next to the train station. And we actually have a direct train from the city, which takes 20 minutes from the city to our Bedford Park and Tonsley campus. So it's all interconnected between the city and the campuses, which are 20 minutes from the city by train. We also have on-campus accommodation. So we have the university hall style accommodation where they can have their own room, but all of the meals are prepared for, and there's all activities and events throughout the year. Or Deirdre Jordan Village, which is more independent. They can live with, say, 2 or 3 other students, and they cook their own meals and things like that. The great thing, a lot of the students who choose to live on campus are students who are doing things like medicine or engineering, anything that's quite intensive, but even still any student can live on campus. And it is obviously a really great way for them to meet other people, meet other students. It's a really nice start. So some students will start on campus and then perhaps move to a house later on once they've already formed their friendship group. So another area of difference and where we've really been well rated is in terms of student support. So Flinders has been rated #1 in South Australia for overall student experience, and we have an excellent student services team. So they do things like pick up students from the airport, they organise events, activities, celebrations throughout the year, but they're also there if there's anything that the students need. So they offer mentoring programs. Basically, they really advocate for students if they have, any concerns or issues, and help the students to navigate through all the different services and systems within the university. So a really excellent team that is there to support them. Another thing that we're very proud of at Flinders University is that we have been recently rated #1 in Australia for postgraduate employment. So this is due to a large amount of work integrated learning that we provide throughout all of our degrees. So whatever the students are studying, either at undergraduate or postgraduate, they will have the opportunity to do internships, industry projects, mentoring programs. There's also an employment team that are there to support students on how to write their resume, how to apply for jobs in Australia, as well as the opportunities that are available, presenting them to students. So I think Flinders really puts a lot of focus into this area, and that's why we have such a good result in terms of being #1 in Australia. Of those 500 or more than 500 programs that we teach at Flinders University at undergraduate, postgraduate and research level, we teach across 6 key colleges. So we have the College of Nursing and Health Science, the College of Medicine and Public Health, the College of Business, Government and Law, the College of Science, Engineering and IT, the College of Education, Psychology and Social Work, and the College of Humanities, Arts and Social Sciences. So I'm a Flinders alumni. I did my Bachelor of International Business Marketing here at Flinders University quite a while ago. And I'm obviously a staff member, but I'm also a current student. So I'm doing my postgraduate studies here at Flinders. So I can speak from the perspective of a student and say it is an excellent learning environment, fantastic academic team that are really have that balance between academic as well as being all of the academics come with practical work experience, like they're from industry as well as that academic rigor as well. So an excellent balance between the two. So these are the 6 key colleges that we teach the programs within. I'm not going to go through all the 500 programs because obviously we have very limited time today, but I'll just briefly go through some of our very popular programs that we have here at Flinders University. So one area that Flinders is really well known for is our nursing programs. So our nursing programs lead to registration in Australia to be a qualified nurse, registered nurse, and we are ranked in the top 30 worldwide for nursing. So excellent programs. You can see from the picture, that is a picture of what we call our simulation labs. So our students, even though they may be just starting and learning the theory, they're straight into those simulation labs so that they're practicing with all the real life equipment. with the mannequins. And those mannequins are very advanced. They talk, they cough, they do all the things that a patient would do. So from the very beginning, they're really getting that hands-on practical learning experience in these clinical labs. And once the students are ready, fairly quickly, they're ready, they get them ready, and they're into their placement components, where they're actually then obviously working in real life settings, aged care, mental health, hospitals, community health, practicing what they're learning. So it's very much, they learn the theory, they do the practice, and then they're out into their placements, and they continue that until they finish their qualifications. So really excellent nursing programs. We also have an excellent medicine program, both at undergraduate and postgraduate level. Bachelor of Clinical Science, MD, is the equivalent of an MBBS. So that is a 2+4, and we teach that in semester 1 intake each year. So March is the intake each year. However, if you are interested in medicine, it's really important that you apply well in advance, because this program does have what we call quotas. There's only a certain limited places each year, and it fills by about August the year before each year. So it has a lot of demand. The same with our MD program, which is a 4-year postgraduate medicine program. It is really important to apply early. And once again, it's usually full around August each year, the year before it starts in March. Both have a very high IELTS requirement, which you would imagine, of 7.0, and a relatively high academic requirement. However, for MD, it is more than that. You do need to have a credit above in your undergraduate qualification, and then you need to do a GAMSAT or an MCAT, and then have an interview. We also teach undergraduate and postgraduate public health programs, which are becoming obviously, or have become extremely relevant in our community. So an excellent programs that really look at health promotion, disease prevention, epidemiology. And as we have those facilities on campus, the hospitals and the clinics, there is lots of opportunity for students to actually have practical experience. We also teach the widest range of allied health programs within the state, and one of the largest within the country as well. And we teach in the areas of audiology, exercise science, health science, nutrition, dietetics, occupational therapy, optometry, physiotherapy, speech pathology, and clinical rehabilitation. So we make a little bit of a joke and say that we teach pretty much everything except for dentistry, teeth, and podiatry, feet. So anything else within the body we teach here at Flinders University. We also have a very wide range of business programs at undergraduate and postgraduate, as well as research level. And all of our business programs have that placement component and the industry project component, because as we know, it's really important not to just learn these things, these concepts in theory. It's really important to build industry network connection in Australia for students to be able to get the jobs at the end of their program, as well as build that practical experience. This is our trading room on the Bedford Park campus. So this gives the students a real immersive experience. When they're doing their finance topics, and trading topics, they'd be working in this room with all the software that is basically very similar to share trading and what they would be using in terms of trading stocks and things like that. So really embedding as much as we can that real life work experience, practical experience within all of the programs. We have a very wide range of IT and computer science programs with some very interesting specializations in things like artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, as well as applied geographical information systems. So really state-of-the-art programs at the cutting edge. All of our programs are recognised by the Australian Computer Society in Australia, as well as the Solar Accord internationally. So it means no matter where your students want to then take their degree, it will be recognised worldwide. We also have a Cisco Academy that's on campus, so students can take those topics as part of their degree and also come out with their Cisco certificates while they're doing their studies at Flinders. And there's not many Cisco academies in Australia generally, so that's quite a unique thing for them to be able to do that. We also have, I've gone through pretty well all of those programs, or at least some of the key specializations, so I'll move forward. We do have a very wide range of engineering programs as well. And our engineering programs have 20-week placements at undergraduate level. So all of the students really come out with that strong work experience that they've done, and they have obviously built their industry connections as well. So with the majority of engineering degrees in Australia, you'll do a maximum of 12 weeks, whereas we almost double that placement time when they do 20 weeks. And we think that's part of the reason why our employability rates are so high. The students are very valuable right from the beginning for employers. So employers want to take these students straight away because they've had so much practical experience throughout their degree. And we teach a very wide range of engineering areas such as civil, biomedical, electrical and electronic, and mechanical as well. We also teach within the areas of education and teaching. So if students want to they're either a teacher and they want to go into a more specialised area within education, or they're wanting to become a teacher in Australia. So there's undergraduate programs, which are 4 years programs, or postgraduate, which are 2-year programs. And there's many specialisations in terms of early childhood, primary, secondary, as well as more specialisations within leadership and management, wellbeing, positive mental health. So a very wide area that students can choose from in terms of their speciality. And very well rated in terms of our teaching education programs as well. We also have social work programs at undergraduate and master's level, postgraduate level, 4-year bachelor program, or a 2-year master's program. These programs are offered twice a year, both in March as well as July intake. They both do have quite a high English requirement of IELTS 7.0. And once again, the 2-year Master of Social Work does require students to have a background in social sciences. So they don't need to come having a background in social work specifically, but something related in terms of social sciences background. And social work really is a growth area within Australia, as is all of the areas that I've talked about today, particularly all of the STEM, science, technology, education, as well as medicine, mathematics as well. We do have our English pathways. If any students don't meet our English language requirements directly, they can come and do an English program in Adelaide first, and then come through into our undergraduate degree from there. Hello, Sabi. It must be time for me to finish, I think.
No, you do have time, Melissa. I was just wondering if you could mention the scholarships and, look after, ask the participants for any questions if they have. Thank you.
Absolutely. So that's perfect timing for me to move on to the scholarships. So we do have scholarships. They're available for obviously 2022, but 2023 as well. So we have a wide range from 20, 25% to 50% for undergraduate students, and 20 and 50% for postgraduate students. And if there's anyone looking research, they are a whole separate range of scholarships that are there for research as well. They've got a different process, but for all our coursework programs, it's 20, 25 or 50% scholarships. They all do have an academic requirement, and obviously the academic requirement increases depending on the amount of scholarship. The 50% is a quite a high achieving student. So they'd need to sit somewhere 95, 96% in terms of their academic achievement. So it's quite high, but the other levels are quite achievable. So somewhere around 70 to 80%, you'd qualify for the 20 or 25% scholarships. So, and these are full duration scholarships, so off the full duration of the degree. So that's the end of my presentation around Flinders University. Does anyone have any particular questions? And just for this moment, I will also introduce you to our in-country representative, Maham, who is, she is based in Lahore, and she's a relatively new member of our team within the last few weeks. So we're very excited to be able to welcome her to the Flinders team. But she's based in Lahore and can help any of your students, or if you have any questions in around study, she would be able to help you as well. I'll stop sharing my screen, and I'm not sure if Maham is able to show her video or say hello, or at least unmute and say hello. Maham,
Melissa,
can you hear me?
Yeah, Melissa, if you can text her email address in the chat box, I think for everybody.
Yes, I'll do that. Perfect. Excellent. And did anyone have any questions while in the meantime? No?
Okay.
And Maham, are you there as well?
Melissa, somebody is asking you to text your email address as well to everyone.
Absolutely. Very happy to do that.
So people are very happy with your nice, crisp and detailed presentation. I don't think they have many questions then.
That's okay. No worries at all.
So thank you so much, Melissa, for your wonderful presentation and your time. It was really informative and enjoyable. Thank you. And I'll ask Shruti, the next speaker, to begin. So thank you so much and goodbye.
Thank you. Lovely to see you all. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Hi, Shruti. How are you?
Hi, Sabi. I'm very well. How's everyone doing?
Everyone is doing great. Thank you so much for giving us your time, and please feel free to start. Just check with your screen sharing so that I can see if your slides are moving. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, I hope everyone is able to see the presentation. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Shruti. I'm from James Cook University. I take care of the global partnerships and schools engagement across South Asia, Middle East, and Africa for JCU. It's a very short presentation so that we can have more time for questions. To start with, we're ranked in the top 2% of the world, and we are 29th in the best young universities. We also have 26 specialized research centers and institutes, and have a 5 stars for learners engagement and skills development. We're second in Australia for full-time graduate salaries, first in Australia for full-time employment rates, and 5 stars for teaching employability, research, and facilities. Okay. We have a very diverse cohort at JCU. We have 17,000 students, and 12% are international students. When I say international, they're truly international because we get students from across the world, more than 100 different countries. And I used to previously work with Monash, and here at JCU, it's a lot more mixed and cultural environment that we have for students. We're also ranked #1 in the world for freshwater biology, second in the world for biodiversity conservation. We're pretty good with our sciences programs, and we are very well known for that. Also, we believe that hands-on experience is the most important thing. So most of our courses do offer some sort of an internship or a work integrated learning or a study abroad opportunity for most of the courses and for most students. We have two different campuses. One is the Townsville campus, which is really massive and huge, and it's a beautiful looking campus. We have about 12,000 students and 13% of them are international. And it's about 15 kilometers from the city center. It's a small city, but it's beautifully located. The other one is the Keynes campus. I'm sure a lot of you would have been to Australia. The most popular tourist destination in Australia would probably be Sydney. Everyone wants to go there. But after Sydney, most people want to go to Keynes. It's a beautiful place. We've got the beaches, and most of our IT tourism programs are at the Keynes campus. And this is also about 14 to 15 kilometers from the city. One of the things that I forgot to mention is that we are very close to the Great Barrier Reef. We have the Outback, so students get involved in a lot of adventurous activities, and they can explore the city in a much deeper way. Apart from studies, we do have a lot of clubs and societies that students can be a part of. This could be related to courses or sports and recreation or cultural and religious clubs. Or if they don't find something that they like, they can create their own. We do offer programs across all levels of study. We have study abroad, undergrad, postgrad, and research degrees. And these are our areas of study. So you'll find most of the courses that students look for, right from arts and medicine and psychology. I do know that medicine is very popular in Pakistan. It's the same in India as well. So it's great. And we do have a pretty good medicine program. A couple of USPs. We're a boutique university. It's small, so the class strength is also small. So there's a lot of one-on-one attention that's given to students, small classroom sizes. And I spoke to you about the rankings as well. We do have JCUA scholarships for students, and I'll speak to you about that. When it comes to industries, we are pretty well known for our mining, mineral processing, agriculture, tourism, and healthcare industry in Queensland. And we're located in Northern Queensland. And it's also a regional university. So when I say regional, students get 5-year stay back options once they, the post-study work visa will be for another 5 years once they finish their course of study. So I have a couple of requirements that I have put in here for the most popular courses. So you can have a look at it, but when we have the discussion, you can also ask me specific to the course that you're looking for. But these are the most popular ones that we have, and students come for most of these courses. So scholarships, for 2023, we have a 25% tuition fee deduction in the overall fee. The rest of them are mostly for the 2022 scholarship, the rest of the two. But 2023, if the student has somewhere between 75 to 80%, they will get a scholarship of 25%. And they don't need to apply for it separately. Once they make an application, they would be assessed, and with their full offer, they will get the scholarship. Okay, and JCU offers an experience like no other. So I'm done with my presentation and I'm open to questions. Anything else that you would like to know, please feel free.
Thank you so much, Shruti. Very short and sweet, but you presented the overview of the university and the cities. So thank you. Participants, please feel free to ask any questions if you have.
Yes, I've got one question. I was wondering if you would like to tell me about your law degree, like the LLB degree. So how long it will take and what are the requirements for that degree program? Specifically, I'm talking about law. Thank you.
Right. So a law degree is 4 years, and I can tell you the requirements for IB, right?
I'm sorry, come again?
Are you looking for the IB requirements?
A levels requirement.
A levels.
please.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we need 7 points for A levels, and we just need English. That's the only requirement that we have for the law degree.
So no prerequisite subjects like full, like you need to have law. So that's perfect. Okay, then thanks a lot.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Shruti, there are a
Because when
couple
it
of,
comes to-
sorry, Shruti, there are a couple of
Yeah,
questions
I
in the
will-
chat box. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, I do know. I don't know if these were questions for me. Where is the location? Okay, so the location, we're in Northern Queensland, 2 campuses. One is Townsville and Cairns. The other one is Cairns. And scholarships I did speak about. What is the application fee? We don't have an application fee, and you can make an application to us directly. So that's fine. Which one is the most demanding course of JCU? Well, honestly, it depends on the region, right? So if you look at South Asia, most popular ones are engineering, IT, business, and science. And of course, medicine, that's across. If you look at the US, it's mostly science and marine biology. Europe and also these places, it's the sciences programs. Could you tell us the IB requirements as well? Yes, I could. Could you ask me which course you're looking for? Just one more thing that I wanted to tell you is when you're making an application, you can make it with the predicted scores, and you will get a conditional offer, and the IELTS or TOEFL or PTE requirements are not needed, provided the student has taken English in their 12th grade. That can be waived off, that's fine. Okay, the tuition fee, thanks Sabi, I'll answer that. So the overall tuition fee that you will look at is most of the courses are ranged somewhere between 32,000 Australian dollars to 40,000 Australian dollars, except for medicine, of course, which is about 60,000 Australian dollars.
Sorry, Shruti, is it per annum? Is it per annum or is it for
Yes,
the whole course?
yes. So for medicine, I'm saying 60,000 Australian dollars per year, and that does not have scholarships. So most universities in Australia don't offer a scholarship for medicine, dentistry, or vet sciences. So any of the healthcare programs, yeah. Okay, IB requirements for medicine. I'll have to check. I think it is about 13 points for medicine. And I can tell you for engineering. We need 29 points for engineering for IB. Yeah, and you also wanted medicine, right? Okay, we need 36 points. Medicine would be 36 points and engineering would be 29 for IB. Any other questions? I'm gonna share my email ID. Feel free to drop me an email if you have more questions.
Shruti, we do have a
You can
few.
apply.
Yes, please.
Yeah, you
kindly
can apply
answer.
directly, Umer. So you can, so I have my email ID sent. You can share the application form with me, filled in application. But we do have a portal as well, or you can make it direct application as well. Online directly through university
Shruti?
website or.
Sorry,
Yeah.
just to add to the previous question, by portal, what do you mean?
We have the study link portal, and I can share the details on the email, Sabi. But the best would be for you to share the application form. You can download it from the internet and you can send it to me, and I can process it with the admissions team. We do have a separate recruiter recruitment team that takes care of South Asia. I mainly look at the schools engagement and the partnerships. I could also connect you to them if you would like to make an application or yeah.
Yes, I think Shruti, you may share the email address of the recruitment person either with me, and I can share that with the BSS counselors directly because they'll be able to do that. So you've already shared Farah's email address. So
I've shared mine and I've shared Farah's as well.
Okay. And I just wanted that if you can, because we do have time, if you can slightly comment on the visa process, if any of the counselors have questions, regarding that, that would be really nice.
So we do have a GT person. Unfortunately, we are not allowed to assist in the visa process. But of course, the GT person would be able to direct you on what are the requirements maybe. But unfortunately, as a university representative, that's not something that we are allowed to do.
Okay, so because I know usually the majority of the students who apply from Pakistan, they tend to apply through education agents for the visas. So just because so the counselors in Pakistan, especially from schools like Beaconhouse, are very particular in working with any education agent. So that's the reason I just thought that if you can comment on the process that JCU follows or what JCU can
we're open,
develop.
Abhi. So we're completely open if the student wants to apply through an agent because it's a lot more easier, of course. Because I also look at the schools engagement across South Asia. I don't know, for example, in India, I know a lot of schools don't want to engage with the agents. So which is why I said you can contact us directly and we can help you with the process. Look, if there is some sort of a requirement at the visa stage, we can work something together. Maybe have a particular agent in Pakistan who can process it for you guys or something like that, depending on the number of applications that we're getting.
Wonderful. Thank you, Shruti. That's exactly what I was hoping, to get the information for the counselors.
I know it's a bit tricky, especially for Australia. So happy to look at that.
Great. Thank you so much. So any other questions? Anybody? Or if you don't have any questions, just we can ask the next speaker to start. So, okay, can you share your email?
Yes.
She's already done that, Maham.
Oh, I'm so sorry. No, I think, Sabi, I shared it with you separately.
Oh, okay. Okay. So please check that. Have you shared your, Shruti, could you check if you shared Farah's email as well with everyone?
I've also shared Farah's now. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Farah is the one taking care of recruitment. So you can reach out to her or feel free to drop me an email as well. That'll be fine. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. And thank you for so many questions. Have a lovely day, everyone.
Thank you, Shruti.
Thanks,
Thank you so much. Hi, Sandeep.
Hello, Sabi. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I hope you are also well.
Yes, we are doing great. And the sessions have been very informative. We are glad you've joined us just in time. And please check by sharing your screen. And I'll just check that your screen is moving so that we can see if the slides are going well. Okay?
Sure. All right. So you're able to see my screen, right?
Yes. And can you put on the slideshows? Yeah. So the screens are moving just fine. Thank you so much. Please begin. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Sabi. Thank you everyone for joining in, and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share the information about the Tob University. My name is Sandeep Thakur, and I'm the Assistant Manager for Marketing and Admissions for focusing primarily on Africa and Pakistan. Today, I would like to welcome you for this presentation where we'll be talking about why we should choose overseas studies, the reasons, the aspects that we should look into, and of course, followed by the information about the university and the scholarships that we've got to offer. Now, why study overseas is basically a question that arises to everyone. The only answer to this question is that it's top-class education that they get in one of those international universities. A good career opportunities when they come back or when they go around the globe. it makes them more independent in terms of personal development and other responsibilities that they face during their student life. Experience different culture because you get to meet people from across the globe. Particularly Latrobe, you get to meet people from 100 different nationalities. So it gives you a way enhanced overview in terms of the culture aspect and how to cope up with people with different cultural backgrounds. Of course, this very aspect will give you friends from around the globe. Of course, the international travel, enhance your communication skills with English, because English is the commonly used language across the globe, and of course at Australia as well. And with great education comes the great opportunities for employment as well. Now, why particularly study at Australia? Australia has always been the preferred destination for international students. It's safe environment. The education system is governed by the government, and it's quite safe even for international students. Global recognition, international accreditation, qualifications are students get. There is good standard of living. Cost of living is a bit on the lighter side as compared to other countries where students wants to go for international education. Attractive scholarships. There's a lot of scholarships that Australia has to offer. Safe environment, strong education support system. Of course, the sun, sands, and beaches. There are more than 10,000 beaches in Australia. That means if you visit one beach every day, you will be visiting a new beach continuously for the next 27 years. And of course, the post-study work opportunities where students can stay up to 5 years, depending on the program and the region that they are coming to study at Australia. Talking about Latrobe is the third oldest university in the state, Victoria. Victoria is a state that we are based in. And we've got our flagship campus in Melbourne, two campuses, one in the city center, and the main campus is around 14 kilometers from there towards northeast side. Well by rail, road, and tram. Doesn't take you more than 40-45 minutes to reach to our campus from the city center. Our campus is one of the biggest campus that we've got in Australia. It's that big that we've got Lake on campus, we've got Wildlife Sanctuary on campus. Now, speaking about Latrobe University in terms of ranking, we've always make sure that we are amongst the top of that category. So, given the region that we are based in, Asia Pacific region, we are amongst top 50 universities in the world. Sorry, in that region. We are amongst top 1% universities globally with Times Education. With QS, we are amongst top 350, and with ARW, we are amongst top 400. So, it would be any major ranking institution, we are amongst the top of that category. So, with Times Education, it makes us amongst top 1% universities globally. Not only university as a whole, but even the courses that we offer, they're also highly ranked. For example, sports-related programs, we are ranked amongst top 50 in the world. Courses like nursing, archaeology, philosophy, hospitality, tourism, and tourism management, we are again ranked amongst top 100 in the world. Courses other than these that I mentioned into business and IT engineering, again, we are ranked among top 200 to top 400, depending on the program that we offer. Not only academic wise, but also in terms of the employment opportunities, or basically the graduate employment rate, we are highly ranked. Students who come down to study at Latrobe University for their undergraduate, complete their qualification and are able to find a suitable job for themselves within 4 to 6 months of their graduation. Our placement record is 87.6% for undergraduate. For post-graduation, it is 94.2%, which makes Latrobe University amongst top 10 universities in Australia for the employment rate. And amongst the world, it's around 129 that we've got. One of the major driving factor having this high employment rate is the program called Career Advantage, wherein we make sure that students are engaged with the industry while they study at Latrobe University. We start with building up their profile. We create, we give them opportunities in terms of cadetships. We also have this mentor program wherein a professional person, they mentor our students. Of course, the team assists students with part-time and full-time engagements, and we do organized career fairs from time and again for our students. With QS, the star rating system, for all the areas pretty much, we've got 5-star rating, like the teaching, employability, research, internationalization, online learning, art and culture, which makes Latrobe University as top as the 5+ star rating, which is the highest that any university can get with the QS star rating. So this is the location that we've got. So we are based in Victoria State. We've got a huge presence in the state Victoria, 2 campuses which are in the metropolitan Melbourne. And then we've got 4 campuses, Bendigo, Shepparton, Albury, Wodonga, and Mildura, which are regional campuses. And we've also got 1 campus in Sydney. In total, we've got around 35,000 plus students, which are spread across all our campuses. And out of those, 9,000 are international students from 100 different nationalities. We've got more than 200,000 alumni across the globe, and it's a public university, state-based university. Just to sum up, we've ranked amongst top in the world. Flagship campus is the most university, Melbourne, of course. We've got a range of scholarships that we offer. I'm just going to talk about that. We've got around 250 plus courses to offer for students, and of course the high employment outcome that we've got. We've also got opportunities for students for regional campuses if they want to come down to any of the regional areas. We've got strong student support services for our students, for international students basically. We've got around 90 clubs which are into different cultures, social and sports. Students can basically join them and pursue their hobby. We've also got a Pakistani Students Club at Latrobe University, wherein they celebrate their festivals on a regular basis. Of course, the campus, it's one of the biggest, as I mentioned, in Australia. So that's how our campus look like. That's the aerial picture. It's a bit changed now because there's a lot of development which is going on at the moment with the grant that we've got from the government, Victorian government, to develop this campus as University City of Future. But yeah, that's pretty much the campus looks like. We've got all facilities that students might require with the day-to-day activity at the university campus itself. So we've got bank, we've got ATM, we've got post office, there are grocery store, bookstores, we've got different restaurants, everything is available on campus that student might need. Some of the campuses that I just mentioned in the other regions. One of our recent doctorate holder, Mr. Shah Rukh Khan, we awarded him the honorary doctorate for his work that he's doing into women empowerment through his foundation called the Meal Foundation. Now, we've got a range of programs that students can choose at Latrobe University. So starting with engineering, we've got civil and industrial. In information technology, we've got computer science, information technology, cyber security. Bachelor's of business, commerce and management, we've got bachelor's of business, bachelor's of accounting, bachelor's of business analytics. These programs gives our students an opportunity to choose their specializations from various areas. And of course, they can tailor-made those as well. So they can choose their majors and minors according to their preference. At health stage, we've got nursing, we've got dental science, we've got physiotherapy, psychological science, biomedical science, health sciences. At sports, we've got business, sports management, and sports and exercise science. Coming down to arts and communications, we've got archaeology, Bachelor of Arts, again, with multiple specializations, global studies, media and communication, political philosophy, and economics. At education, we've got Bachelor's of Education, primary and secondary, outdoor and sustainable education, and early childhood education. At law, we've got Bachelor's of Criminology and Bachelor's of Law. We will do offer Bachelor's of Science as well, wherein students can choose, again, from different specializations that we have to offer. One of the unique engagement opportunities that we have for our students with our engineering programs is that they get 6 months, basically 1 whole semester, as an industry-based learning, or we can call it as internship. Now, this is a part of the program, so this is fully organized and run by the university. It's a good practice for students because it gives them an opportunity to understand how the engineering industry works within Australia. 90% of our students, they get observed the same organization that they do their internship with. And we do offer scholarship for this internship. So students who do exceptionally good during their studies, they get a $10,000 stipend during this internship as well. Now, coming down to scholarships. So at Latrobe University, we've got a range of scholarship which covers up to 50%. Starting with the scholarship that we've got for bachelor's program. So we only accept intermediate, which is pre-engineering or pre-medical from Pakistan. So if they score around 60%, 70%, 74.9% in that, the scholarship is 20%. With 75 to 79.9, it's 25%. And with 80% and more, it's 30%. If I talk about GCE A level, so with 7, they are eligible for 20% scholarship. With 8 and 9, it's 25% scholarship. With 10 and above, it's 30% scholarship for the entire duration program. So that means it is going to be for 3 or 4 years what a program they come down for. Another thing, they don't have to apply it separately. They just need to make an application. If they are eligible, they get their offer letter along with the scholarship. Apart from this, we also offer early bird expense start, where students can save additional around 5% of the tuition fees, first year tuition fees. Scholarship is for the complete tuition program, but this early bird expense grant is only for first year only. It's only one time. But again, students save around $1,500 to $2,000 on top of the scholarship because these two can merge together. There's a deadline to accept the offer. So if they accept their offer letter for November by 14th of October, they would be eligible for that. Likewise, we'll have this extended deadlines for March, July, and November in 2023 as well. Then students who decide to come down to one of our regional campuses, we offer them Regional Victoria Experience Bursary, which is around $3,000. Again, it's one time. It's only for one of our regional campuses, but this can be clubbed with the scholarship, the early bird experience grant. That means they can have these 3 bursaries or scholarships together. We do offer 50% scholarship for students from Pakistan, and the draw. Basically, we pull in all the applications and then we decide on the scholarship. So this pool is only for Pakistani students. So we pull in all the applicants who are eligible. We usually require around 80%, and we contact them to submit for the documentation, which is basically a video testimonial that why they deserve this scholarship. Once we get that, we assess all the applicants and then we nominate on the basis of merit. Every intake, we offer these scholarships for the students. In terms of the cost of studies at the Tob University, approximately on average, it's around $35,000 per year, depending on the program, because the fees might vary from course to course. We do have offer scholarship up to 30% that I just mentioned for the entire tuition program. Living expenditure varies again, the way you lead your life within Australia. So anywhere around 21,000 is completely fine to meet your living expenses part in Australia. The part-time job opportunities are ample, and the minimum wage has actually been raised now. So it was earlier around $18.93, but now it's around $21 per hour. That's the minimum wage rate that anyone is getting in Australia. Now I will be more than happy to take any questions that you might have.
Yeah, Sandeep, there is a question in the chat box. And meanwhile, if anybody else has any questions, please can you either share them in the chat box or you can ask them directly. Sandeep, there are a couple of questions in the chat box.
Yeah, so I think I already covered about the rankings, the world rankings of the university during my presentation. The second question is, can you share application form or portal link to apply directly, as mentioned about the application fees? Okay, so we don't have any application fees as such. At the moment, the way our study link portal, basically the online application portal is designed, it basically allows students only to apply through one of our agency network. Now, if you don't want to go through an agency network, what I'm going to do is basically I'll share our application form with Sabi, and she can share that form with you. The next question is, could you please repeat the average living expenses for student? All right. Now, as I mentioned during my slides, that the living cost varies from the type or the standard of living that you lead in Australia while your student life. So we have seen students managing between somewhere around $16,000, $17,000 to $18,000, $19,000 or $20,000 as well. But what government sees is basically, if you are in Australia as an international student, your average living cost would be around $21,041 per year. But yeah, that varies from student to student, because we have seen students managing between $16,000, $17,000, $18,000, $19,000 as well. Well, IB scores varies again. Usually somewhere around 26, 25 is fine to apply for pretty much most of our programs. Again, the scholarship varies. With 26, 27 is around 20% scholarship, 20, 29 is 25, and 30 and above is around 30% scholarship that we offer for students. But on average, 25, 26 is what we usually require for pretty much all our programs for IB. All right, so we've got a list of agents that have got an agreement with the university. I can share that link with you. Just give me a second.
Sandeep, we've lost your sound.
Yeah, so I was actually looking for that web link. So that's the web link for the list of agents you can find in Pakistan. You can choose any of the agents for the services. The reason that we basically ask students to apply to one of our agents, because our agents, they've got a huge experience in terms of visa applications. Because if you don't contact us directly, it's going to be a bit of concern, because you send us an email, we will send an email. The process can take a longer time. But if someone can assist you in that, which is one of our agents, because they got your expertise, and they can guide you better how to arrange those documentations, what documentations are required, so they can assist you in that as well. So that's the reason we primarily ask our students to contact one of the agents for the application.
That's perfect, Sandeep. Thank you so much for sharing the link. I think it's going to be very beneficial for the counselors. So do we have any other questions from Sandeep, please? Okay, yeah.
Yes, I've just mentioned my email ID on the chat box.
So Sandeep, thank you so much. I think it was a really very informative session, and all the participants must have thoroughly, enjoyed the information that we've received. I think if there are no more questions, please let me know so that, okay, yeah. So then we can, wait for the next, Sandeep, we are still waiting for the next speaker. So if you want to add anything for the counselors, please feel free to do that. We can give you a couple of more minutes.
Sure. Now, I'll be more than happy if you want to contact me directly as well. I'll be more than happy to assist you in any possible we can. Sabi and we are more would be if you want us to do maybe an individual session with the students, and we can do that as well. If you want me to arrange some sort of one maybe a presentation which is primarily focused on any particular program, we can also do that for you. So any support that you might require, you already got my email ID. Just let me know, and we can do the best possible we can.
Okay, and Sandeep, I think I'd just like to add that if you have anybody visiting from La Trobe during the later part of the year or maybe early next year, just let me know in time so that if any of the schools are interested, we can actually take the, the staff to talk to the students directly. If anybody is coming from Australia, because I think that you're based in India, so I don't think you'll be able to visit Pakistan.
Sure. Yeah, we've got some of the faculties of ours who basically visit on regular basis to Pakistan, because the country of origin is Pakistan. So as and when they are there, they do assist us in this sort of activities as well. So I'll make sure that we definitely contact you for such engagements.
Okay, I think that's perfect. So we do have our next speaker joining in. So Sandeep, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. Though it was a wonderful presentation. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for all the very best. Stay safe.
So everyone, we have the next speaker, who is Fahad Adnan, and he will be presenting on behalf of Murdoch University. Fahad, please feel free to share your screen, and let me check if the slideshow is moving for the participants to see. Thank you.
Sure, Sabi. Thanks.
For the participants, I'd just like to add, I know it's a long session today. So the fun of, having virtual events is you can go and have a cup of tea or coffee as per your liking. So just bear with us. We just have, including Murdoch University, we just have 3 universities to present. Thank you. Fahad, we can see your presentation. If you can switch on the screen show. Yeah, slideshow.
Are we good?
Yes. So please feel free to start. Thank you, Fahad.
Great, no worries. All right, hello everyone. Just a brief introduction. My name is Fahad, and I work as Associate Regional Manager for Murdoch University, and I look after Pakistan, Middle East, and Europe for Murdoch. Thank you so much for being here, listening to us, and I also would like to thank Sabi to organize this event so that we might know more about Perth and Murdoch University. Now, Murdoch University has 3 campuses. Our main campus is in Perth, the other one is in Singapore, and the third one is in Dubai. So we'll talk about our main campus, which is in Perth. As you can see, at the bottom of the screen, this yellow dot depicts where actually the location of Perth is. It's on the west coast. It's the capital of Western Australia, and Western Australia is the biggest state area-wise in Australia. This is how a city looks like. It's a Swansea River. You can see the city behind. Murdoch University is just 14 kilometers from the city center, so it's very much accessible. It's not a campus that is far off. So easily accessible by train as well as bus or car. Talking about why to choose Murdoch University, we should know first about the city. Why should we choose Perth as a study destination? Because it is different. And we'll talk about the industry in Perth, how is the climate, what are the extracurricular activities students can opt for, sports, living costs, what are the work rights these days, and how students can work along with their studies to meet their living expenses as well as save some amount for the contribution towards the next semester's tuition fee. So the lifestyle of Perth, as I said, it's the largest state area-wise in Australia, WA. The state produces 46% of Australia's exports. So the primary source of revenue in Australia is mining. And Western Australia has a lot of contribution towards federal GDP in terms of contribution. The population of Western Australia is 2.6 million, whereas population of Perth is 2.2 million approximately. And it's primary industry and banking hub. Most of the companies listed on Australian Stock Exchange, they've got their head offices in Perth. So in Pakistan, what we assume that when a word comes regional, a city might be, a backward city, or there won't be a lot of opportunities. On the contrary, it's opposite. So Perth has a lot to offer in terms of business, in terms of employment, in terms of tourism, in terms of infrastructure development. So the city is in growing phase, it's in growth phase. It's not a saturated city. And the reason I believe city achieved the status of regional because city has more capacity to accommodate people. It's known as Australia's mining hub and is the largest iron ore producer in the world. The climate is ideal. The average temperature throughout the year, it is from like 2 or 3 degrees centigrade and to 32 or 33 degrees centigrade a year on average. It's the Australia's most sunniest and healthiest city. It's a coastal city along the coastline. So we've got like 12,000 kilometers coastline across WA, and the city has 19 breathtaking beaches within itself. So there's a lot of sightseeing. Some of them are world-class surfing sites. So students can enjoy themselves as well as they study. The reason to show you this monument is many of our students, they end up doing their part-time work in the stadium. It is named as one of the beautiful stadiums in the world. And it hosts events like AFL, Australian Football League, soccer, concerts, cricket, and many more. With all these things, Perth, it's the most affordable capital in Australia. If you compare all the capitals in Australia, like Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Darwin, Adelaide, Perth is the most affordable. And the reason is, when a student is going for international education, there are two major cost contributing factors in their monthly expense. One is their accommodation, and the other one is transport. So what Perth offers is that accommodation, it ranges from $140 to $170 per week, which is like 80% approximately lesser than Sydney and 40% lesser than Melbourne. And also on transportation, Perth offers 40% discount to all international students. And within the CBD, within the downtown area, the transportation is free. So you can hop onto any bus, you can drop off anywhere, they don't charge anything. This shows a couple of years back, I think it was 2019, Sydney was like 10th most expensive city in the world, Melbourne was 14th, whereas Perth was 46th. And now Perth is like 6th most livable city in the world. So you can see that this is a city which has low cost of living, high quality of life, and it's very diverse. It is a city built to be, it is a city known to be built by foreigners. So there's a lot of diversity within the city. In Murdoch University, we've got like students from 100 different nationalities, 100 different backgrounds. So when a student goes for his education, it's not just the books he learns from, it's basically the exposure, the cultural exposure he gets. It is also one of the safest places in the world. Its safety ranking is above the national average. Students can work part-time. These days, post-pandemic, the restriction is off. They can work full-time, but it's gonna come back in I don't know when, but definitely it's gonna come back to normal, which is like 20 hours per week. And the minimum wage rate is $19.49 per hour. This is a comparison. Perth offers 3 years of post-study work-right visa instead of 2 years. So when a student finishes his bachelor's of 3 years degree or 4 years degree, if he does engineering, he gets 3 more years as part of post-study work rights. Now, this was all about Perth. Coming towards Murdoch University. So Murdoch University was established in 1973. We are different and we are proud of it. It basically was established on philosophy of a free thinker known as Sir Walter Murdoch. You can see the bottom left of the screen. So what we offer to students is we encourage students to instigate and to materialize and to execute their own abilities instead of following the herd. So this is what our tagline is. It's free thinking. The campus life is very vibrant. It's one of the largest campuses in Australia, and the area is covering about 227 hectares with a lot of restaurants and activities within the campus. It's Perth's second university. We've got over 13,500 students from 100 countries. In Perth campus, we offer more than 200 undergraduate and postgraduate courses. Our major strength is undergraduate, which is 81%, and then 19% postgrad students. That also include research students. The student breakdown, our domestic student comprise of like 60% in total, and then 24% international students in Singapore and Dubai campus. So this figure shows that when it comes to a choice of a local student in Perth, Murdoch University is preferred. As per Times Higher Education, we are among top 100 in the world in young universities, as the university is still under 50 years of age. Our research excellence is 87%. We are top 100 best universities in Asia Pacific, as per Times Higher Education. Our graduate employability, we were number 1 in Australia in 2018, and it is very, a big achievement because this survey includes group of 8 too. And in 2018, Murdoch University was number 1. So there's a survey that is conducted across 44 public universities in Australia. where they find that how many graduates got the job. So maximum graduates of Murdoch University got the job. And it shows that we design our courses based upon the input from industry. It's not just that we are just teaching books. So industry guides us. What is the latest trend they want? What is the latest skill set they require? And then the university academics, they design their courses accordingly. So we've got 90% overall satisfaction student experience. We've got 5-star rating in overall experience, student support, learner engagement. Another good thing is that we've got 110 different clubs to join from. So if the student wants to join any club based upon his hobby or interest, he will definitely find something in Murdoch University. And we encourage students to join these clubs. Just to give you a glimpse of what we offer in terms of courses, these are the faculties. Study areas are business law, science, technology, creative arts and communication, teaching, social and cultural studies. In business, we've got, now these are not the only courses, these are the, some of the star courses that we offer. So it's accounting, business and law, hospitality and tourism, criminal behavior, international business. Then it comes to arts and communication. We've got global media and communication, games, art and design, journalism, graphics design. In engineering, it's environmental and renewable energy. In health, we've got nursing, psychology, chiropractic science, sports and exercise science. In science subjects, our animal science in vet science department is, it's very well renowned not in Australia, but in the world. It's the only university that has a vet hospital within campus and large research farms as well. We've got conservation and wildlife biology, it's forensic biology and toxicology, social and cultural studies, it's community development, sociology, sustainable development, global politics and policy is quite famous, international aid and development, as well as terrorism and counterterrorism. We offer early childhood and primary teaching, health and physical education as well. IT, always buzzword. We've got cybersecurity and forensics, games technology, mobile application development, business information systems. We also offer honors degree. So if a student is high achiever in his academics, he can go for honors degree as well. Our scholarship is 20%, and this 20% is guaranteed scholarship for all international students. It covers the full duration of the course. So if a student has, a tuition fee for somewhat around like $15,000 per semester, you simply need to subtract 20% from $15,000 and the remaining will be the payable tuition fee. And this is going to repeat in every semester. So the value of tuition fee for a bachelor's degree is approximately $17,000 to $20,000. Academic entry requirements are pretty simple. If a student has done high school or A2, A-levels, it just needs 6 points to get entry into direct bachelor's degree. And these 6 points should be within 2 or 3 subjects in his A2. And if he has scored C+ in his O-levels in English, he doesn't need to sit in any English test exam like IELTS or PTE. These are not required because the language requirement is already met if he scores C and above in his O-levels. If a student has done intermediate, our local curriculum, then a student needs to score 65% in his high school overall and 65% in all 4 academic subjects. For students who has done FSC or ICS, they need to appear in IELTS or PTE, and the minimum score required is overall 6 band with no band less than 6. And if they do PTE, like in Pakistan, both of these tests are being conducted. So for PTE, they need 50 overall, with no parent less than 50. Student also has to write a statement of purpose to get admission, and the statement of purpose should be, as I assume, it is guided by you. So these are the few points which we think needs to be included in statement of purpose. What is his previous study? What are his future aspirations? Why does he want to go to Australia? Why did he choose this course? So these are the points he should cover in statement of purpose. So for students who do not meet direct entry, they can choose one of the pathways. We've got NIT, Phoenix, and different pathways as well. Lastly, we do offer on-campus accommodation. It is accommodation for like 200 students. The room rent starts from $140 per week, and it includes everything. It includes all the utilities. It includes Wi-Fi. The room will be furnished. Student will get a pickup from the airport. So there's a lot of activities like it includes swimming pool, it includes basketball court. So whatever facility on-campus accommodation offers, we do have that. This is how it looks like, our Murdoch village. And with this, I end my presentation. Thank you very much for your patience, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions.
Can you have a look at the chat section? We do have a couple of questions from the career advisors. Thank you.
Sure. So the first question is about Murdoch rankings and visa acceptance rate. So Murdoch University is AL1 university, which is, it's a level 1 university. The rankings, if you're talking about academic rankings, it's Times Higher Education top 100 in young universities. It's Asia Pacific top 100. We've got QUILT, Quality of Integrated Learning and Teaching, that rates universities based upon different, different offerings like student experience, the overall student satisfaction. So in those all categories, 5 of them most prominent categories, we are 5-star. Visa acceptance rate, it cannot be categorized by university, I would say. For Australia, it's 95% and above. For Murdoch University, if you specifically want to know, visa is not refused unless student produces a forged documents. So in Australia, visa success ratio is quite high if you compare it with other developed countries in the world like Canada or US. Next question about part-time jobs for students. So the student visa allows you to work 40 hours fortnightly, which is 20 hours per week. So by default, you cannot do white collar job or office job, because most of the office jobs, they are full-time, 40 hours per week. So students can opt jobs like working in coffee shops, restaurants, supermarkets, security. Many students I know, they do static and moving security in Perth. And it's not that these jobs are being offered to Pakistani students only. Actually, these jobs are being offered to all the international students. Like if a student is coming from France, if a student is coming from Germany or any other part of the world, because of the visa condition that they're allowed to work 20 hours, they've got these part-time works available. Offered programs. Okay. Offered programs. So just to name few, it's Bachelors of Cybersecurity and Forensics, Bachelors of Hospitality and Tourism Management, Bachelors of International Aid and Development, Bachelors of Global Politics, Bachelors of Terrorism and Counterterrorism, Bachelors of Counterterrorism, Bachelors of Business with all streams like Human Resource Management, Finance, Accounting. So that are just a few courses that are being offered, but there is a whole wide range of 200 plus courses that Murdoch University offers. And IB requirements, it's 27 with no, it's 27 points, I'm not wrong.
Thank you, Fahad. Thank you so much. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask right now, or you can text in the chat box. If you don't have any questions, then I think I can ask Fahad to finish off and we can ask the next speaker to join us. So any more questions, please? So I think, Fahad, thank you so much. I don't think we have any more questions from the participants for you. Thank you for your time. It was really a thorough presentation, and I'm sure the participants enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Fahad has shared his email address. And of course, if you need any other details regarding Fahad, you can email me or text me because you do have my number and email address, and we can get you connected with Fahad. So thank you so much, Fahad, and I'll ask Daniel to then start his session. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you all. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Fahad. Allah Hafiz.
Hafiz.
Hi, Daniel.
Hi, Sabir. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Thank you.
Okay.
Feel much
Are
better.
Are you feeling better? Okay, good.
Yes. Yes, feel better
Great.
today. Yeah.
Great. So could you kindly share your screen with us so that I can see if the slides are moving?
Yes, sure. I'll just share my screen now. Can you see my screen okay, everyone?
Yes, yes, we can see it. And if you could start the slideshow.
Great.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So please feel free to start. Thank you, Daniel.
That's great. Thank you, Sabir. Hi, everyone. Great to have you all this UC information webinar. I appreciate your time to attend this session. My name is Daniel Connor. I work as manager for the Middle East, Africa, and sponsor engagement at the University of Canberra. Now, I'm very conscious about the time. So in this session, I'd like to sort of go through a quick overview about the university and Canberra as a study destination, just to give you some understanding of what we have to offer here in Australia's capital city. So I hope this session will be useful to everyone. So just to begin with some latest ranking information about the University of Canberra. So we've been ranked within the top 1% of the universities in the world and ranked top 10 in Australia and top 20 young universities in the world. We have a very high graduation employment rate with 5-star rating for staff qualifications and teaching quality. We are still a bit over like 30 years old as a university. So we are still a young but dynamic university offering a wide range of degree courses in various academic fields, which are all career-focused and career-driven courses. We have a few more rankings that I'd like to show you as well. So we've been ranked as #1 in the world for reducing inequalities in 2021 and 2022 as well. And #5 in the world for quality education and top 20 universities for gender equality by the Times Higher Education Impact Rankings. So there are lots of reasons why students choose the University of Canberra as their choice of institution. We do offer professional preparation for professional careers. We do make sure to prepare students for the work they choose to do after they successfully graduate from our degree. We've got a very high graduate employment rate, over 87% for undergraduate students and over 94% for postgraduate students. And our graduates are amongst the most employable graduates in the country as well. Now, study destination, now Canberra, the capital city of Australia, as a city, it is like a hidden gem. It is the best kept secret of the country here in Australia. And there are lots of reasons why students choose Canberra to come and study and live as a study destination. Rising employment opportunity is one factor. Our sort of job market here in the nation's capital is one of the rising opportunities we've got. Although the population is relatively smaller compared to other major cities in Australia, like Sydney or Melbourne, it is growing every year because a lot of people choose to move here to Canberra for jobs and for study purposes, not just from interstate, but from overseas as well. And that's making Canberra becoming more and more, I guess, cosmopolitan and vibrant. And as the population grows, the service industries like cinemas, shopping centers, cafes, restaurants, and nightclubs, and so on, are also growing very, very fast. And new businesses, popping up, and that's creating a lot of job opportunities, obviously, for all international students studying in Canberra. People who live here in Canberra earn the highest in Australia as well. A lot of international students take up part-time work during their study, as obviously that helps manage their everyday expenses. A lot of the students find part-time work during their study under the student visa, which allows students to work 20 hours a week. And you can expect to get paid as a student around $25 to $30 per hour. And that's a pretty good rate amongst any other cities in Australia. Our economy here is one of the fastest growing economies in the country, and obviously that's creating a lot of job opportunities for our students as well. Now, because Canberra is also considered as a regional city, and there's an opportunity for every international student to gain up to 4 years of post-study work permit right now. So that's a great benefit for all students planning to stay and gain some work experience in the Canberra region after completing their degree. We got the lowest unemployment rate in the country as well. So all these things are making Canberra more and more, I guess, cosmopolitan and vibrant. This is sort of how much people in Canberra get paid. So Canberra is the highest paid city in the country, and this makes Canberra the richest city in Australia. Very high employment rate, one of the highest in the country with highest average full-time income. And this makes the whole state, ACT, the richest state with the Canberra population, most educated in the country as well. Canberra as a city used to be seen as a government-centered city in the past because of the large public servant and government official population here. But in present times, around 40% of the workforce population working in the government sector, and around 60% working in the private sector in Canberra. And that shows the fact that there are more people actually working in the private sector nowadays, like in the service industry now, than the government sector in Canberra, which is a great thing because that means there are more sort of private businesses coming into town and creating a lot of jobs for our students. So our graduates have one of the highest employment rates, and they are getting the highest median salary. And this is also because employers, they do trust our graduates. Employers are well aware that our graduates can perform very, very well when they start working in the workforce, because our graduates are well prepared and well equipped with the skills needed for the work they do. So the industry connections we've got and the trust that we have from our industry partners are making our graduates receive the highest median salary compared to other graduates from other universities in Australia. And to me, that's a very special relationship that we've got here in Canberra that probably can't be seen in any other cities in Australia. So it's a very Canberra thing. Now, life at UC. So we do guarantee on-campus accommodation for every single student here. And the on-campus accommodation starts from $156 per week, which is a very reasonable rate that we've got. We got more than 80 active academic and social clubs available. We have a lot of social activities, concerts happening throughout the year. Everything is close to one another on campus. And we got a pretty extensive student support services available to all the international students as well. The UC Careers team assists our students find work opportunities or prepare students for part-time and full-time employment. In terms of casual jobs that come and go, we do have a special scheme where we give preference to our students whenever there are any sort of job vacancies coming up, so that our students are notified of vacant positions. So in other words, our students are always the first group to know that there is a job vacancy available and they can apply for. There's also a large number of internship opportunities at UC. So we facilitate to connect our students with various industries by introducing the students to the industries at job fairs that we organize every year. So our students will be very well prepared, very well connected with various industries at many different levels. We are also very well connected with the embassies and Canberra's diplomatic community. We do have very close links with the local diplomatic communities here. And some of the diplomatic staff are also studying with us at UC. Just for your info as well, so these are some of our industry partners that are located in Canberra with whom we work very closely. And we have a very strong connection with those industry partners, providing a lot of work opportunities for all international students. I wouldn't go into too much detail about our course list, as we can see the full course list on our website, but this is basically just to show you how successful our students have been at each faculty. We do offer a wide range of degrees in many different academic fields of study at UC. Our Faculty of Arts and Design, we got a lot of highest ratings, like for median salary in communications, highest rating for full-time employment in humanities, culture and creative arts, and highest rating for teaching quality in architecture and built environment. Very high employment rates and starting salaries, and a lot of internship opportunities embedded in all courses we offer. Some of the example of the academic disciplines taught at the faculty are just here. All include some form of practical work experience or internship programs as part of the degree. For example, Master of Architecture program has entered into an agreement with the state government, who will sponsor our students for the annual competitive one-semester internship placement for credit. So that's just one example of how connected we are. The Faculty of Business, Government and Law faculty, the 5 staff of starting salary and graduate employment, and #1 in Australia for postgraduate law. Very high employment rates and median income as well. And as mentioned, our graduates are one of the most employable graduates in the country. Some of the examples of the academic disciplines taught at the faculty all include some form of practical work experience or internships, as I mentioned. The faculty currently works with more than 230 companies and organizations to deliver internship programs, relevant professional practice and internship sort of projects. So all students will get very, very hands-on sort of work experience as part of their business degrees. Education, the Faculty of Education, very strong industry connections with school sectors in Canberra, offering our students placements to get some internships done through our school partners. And as a result, the employment rates for our students have been extremely high, and the median income has been very high as well. We are a leading educational institution for the areas of early childhood, education, primary and secondary education, and educational leadership. We've got 25 affiliated schools in partnership with the ACT Education Directorate, providing a lot of work, integrated learning programs, internship programs for our students. And these are just some of the examples of the academic disciplines taught at the Faculty of Education. All includes hands-on practical work experience and internship programs as well. Just one example, our teaching degrees in primary and secondary education involves 60 days of professional teaching experience with our partner schools that prepare our students for, for real world work experience, so that when students graduate, they're ready to kickstart their career in the industry. Health, again, we do work with a lot of elite athletes, Olympians, and professional sporting teams. We got some on hospital and clinics on campus that provide a lot of work opportunities as well. And some examples of our health includes these disciplines. So all includes practical work experience or internships. As an example, in Bachelor of Nursing program, the course offers around 880 hours of clinical practice over the duration of the degree, and working in pediatric hospital, aged care facilities, emergency departments, or intensive care units, and so on. So very, very hands-on and practical assignments, making sure that our students will be very well prepared to go into the workforce after completing the degree. The Faculty of Science and Tech, again, a lot of industry-based work opportunities available during study that's creating a lot of employment opportunities for our students as well. And these are some of the examples of the academic disciplines taught at the Faculty of Science and Tech. And in Bachelor of IT, for example, we are in top 10 in Australia for full-time employment, and students can specialize in many different areas like cloud computing, cybersecurity, data science, robotics, and artificial intelligence. And that includes all the very extensive internship projects as well. So yeah, being in the capital city of Australia, it is really the industry, I guess, connections in both government and private sectors that are giving our students a great advantage when it comes to finding employment and career opportunities. And that's something that's very special, as I mentioned, about the University of Canberra, and also being in Canberra, and you probably wouldn't have this kind of opportunity in other cities in Australia. Now, these are just some of the scholarships that we offer, currently offered to international students. So we got 10 to 25% scholarships available, all academic merit based. And I'll make sure that I'll send you a copy of my slides that I used in this session today, so that you can keep it as a group reference for your information as well. And this is the latest scholarship called the Vice Chancellor's Social Champion Scholarship. And this is the biggest scholarship UC has ever offered. And there will be like 3 full scholarships for international students, with coverage including tuition fees, accommodation, and the $10,000 per year allowance as well. And this will be a great incentive for students who have high academic backgrounds and are active in their community, but who may not otherwise be able to afford to study internationally. As I mentioned, I can provide you with more information about all these scholarship offerings after the session from our webpage, so that we have, because we have more detailed information on the website. So just as a summary, so our universities basically have in-demand graduates with very high employment rates. We are sort of within top 1% of the universities in the world, and Australia's top 10, with a wide range of scholarships available. And Canberra being the regional city, we do offer like up to 4 years of post-study work rights permit after students successfully graduate from our university. So I should probably stop now. And that comes to the end of my slide. We still have probably about how many minutes? Probably 3 minutes left, I think, for any questions. So yes, I'll be very happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you so much, Daniel. It was a very informative session. Thank you so much. Please feel free to ask questions if you have any. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll just stop sharing now. Okay. Great. Any questions from anyone?
I think we don't have many questions, Daniel, right
That's
now.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but a few of the participants have requested that we would appreciate if we can get the copy of the slides.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, please
Yes.
text your email address in the chat box
Of course,
for everyone.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yep, I'll do that now.
And share the slides with me, and I'll share them with the rest of the group. Okay.
That'll be great. Thank you, Sabia.
So I bid farewell, and we will be asking our last university to present after Daniel is done. Daniel, we do have a question. Any alternative of IELTS?
Any alternative of IELTS? Yes, we do. So we do look at other English tests like, PTE or TOEFL test. So yes, there are alternative tests that we look at as well. So yes.
Thank you so much, Daniel. We appreciate
Thank
your time.
You, Sabia.
And
hey,
hope
Gary.
to be in touch. Thank you. Be safe. Bye.
Great. Thank you, Sabia. Good to see everyone. Have a great day, guys.
Cheers, Daniel.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hi, Gareth. Hi, Fatma. Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to the session. Thank you so much for joining in. Please feel free to share the screen so that I can see if it's rolling.
I will just do that now, Sabi. If
Yeah.
Can you see okay?
Yes, we can see the screen and just start. Yeah, the slideshow is running fine. Thank you, Gareth. Please feel free to start. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you to everyone from Beaconhouse for joining today. Great to be invited along as part of the Innovative Research Universities in Australia, our network. My name's Gareth Lewis, and I look after a large sort of part of our world, Pakistan being an important source country for our students and an important country for our engagement as well with institutions in your country. We've invested a lot of time and effort in Pakistan in recent years. Pakistani students are very keen to come to Australia these days and very interested, particularly in cities like Sydney, where we're based, our institution's based. We've done quite a lot of work recently, and my colleague Fatima, who's joined today as well, hello Fatima there.
Hi Gareth, hi everyone.
Is a really important ingredient in our Pakistani engagement. So I'm based here in Sydney and will be traveling to Pakistan in the near future, actually, in September, and hopefully again before the end of the year. But my colleague Fatima here is based in Lahore and has the important task of enhancing the Western Sydney engagement across the Pakistan market and to engage with our institutions. So a really important ingredient, and I guess possibly different from some institutions. You've got the contact here in Sydney with me, and also that immediate contact in Pakistan with Fatima. We'll be sharing our email address details later in the slideshow. I do appreciate you've listened to quite a few presentations from my colleagues around Australia, and it's great to have the opportunity to engage with you. Just as with Daniel's presentation from Canberra and my other colleagues, Any questions you've got, you can fire them into the chat room. We'll leave a little bit of time at the end. Fatima will be able to also pop into the chat a couple of links to our website that are relevant and really useful for counselors particularly on our international pages. And we'll be providing some information around scholarships as well. I just thought, as school counselors, you get students sitting in front of you thinking, asking a few questions, and these are the questions they come up with. You're thinking of going to university abroad, and the students are asking, what should I want from a university, and how do I choose my university internationally? What questions should I be asking to find out more about these institutions? Students these days, they do a lot of research on the internet. They look around and try and find as much information as they can, which is great. But we feel that, and you probably, get these questions coming at you as well. Students want to know about the professional accreditations of degrees. Are these degrees going to help them get a job? Is the university ranked? Is the university a public or private? Has it got any recognition? And what's life on campus like? What's life in this country like? What's it going to cost? Does the university have scholarships? Can I stay there? Is there accommodation? And what about my working arrangements when I finish? Well, the good news is the answers to these questions. Western Sydney University offers very positive answers to all of these questions here, which I'm sure as a counselling network of individuals at Beaconhouse, you'll be pleased to hear. We have a whole range of undergraduate, postgraduate research degrees at our public university. There's accreditation, there's international recognition. We've got ranking, subject rankings and overall rankings on QS, Times Higher Education, Shanghai rankings. We do a lot of work in terms of work integrated learning, internships, industrial placements, clinical practice placements for our students, all depending on the course of study that we organize and help our students with. Sydney's a great place to be. The west of Sydney, where we live, which is, about a 30-minute metro ride from the city centre, the Opera House and the Harbour Bridge. We're right very close to, the city centre, but just to the west of that. But it's actually Australia's fastest growing economic region where we are, which means lots of employment opportunities for your students. They come here to study, but they work at the same time on a visa in Australia. And of course, we're very generous with our post-study stay-back visa. So after a student completes a bachelor degree, they're eligible and entitled to stay on for a couple of years on a working visa. And where better to be than Australia's largest economic zone in Sydney. And of course, the fastest developing economic zone in the west of Sydney. If you're seeking that professional employment opportunity, then Sydney's a great destination for you. But students from Pakistan like our university as well, because we have quite an affordable, comparatively affordable price point. When you look at the other institutions in Australia, and you're looking at institutions, again, in different states, but particularly against those in Sydney, our pricing point is very good by comparison, offering good value for money. So accommodation we have, it's quite affordable in comparison to other institutions. And the great news for your students at Beaconhouse, whether they're doing intermediate or A-level or international baccalaureate, we offer scholarships for our students. So Western Sydney is a public institution. We've been around for about 33 years now as a formal university, ratified by the New South Wales government in 1988-89. We have nearly 50,000 students, which is quite an impressive total, one of the biggest universities in Australia, 13 schools, and about 14% international students. And every year, your high school graduating students will be pleased to know we're taking over 100 new commencing students from Pakistan at our institution. Very popular destination for students from your country. They feel comfortable in Sydney. as I mentioned, they like what the university has to offer. And we don't sit there up, above Harvard and Cambridge and Oxford and MIT and all of these wonderful establishments who might occupy the positions of number one, number two, top 10 universities in the world. But we do sit there fairly highly. We're ranked 235 on Times Higher Education. And we do very well with QS and Shanghai rankings as well. And on top of that, I will add that your students are also coming to an institution that actually was ranked number one in the world just recently. And I'll repeat that, number one in the world by Times Higher Education in terms of the United Nations impact rankings and sustainable development goals. So the UN have put together 17 different specific areas for sustainable development. So some of these things include social justice, or it might mean, water and, water security and food security, gender equity, diversity, this kind of stuff. These are the goals that the United Nations have set. And our university was deemed under the Times Higher Education as number one in the world as an institution working towards achieving these goals, which is an amazing result for our institution. So I would like you to impress that upon your students. On the academic rankings, we sit there quite high, in the top 2% of universities globally. But on those sustainable development goals, and sustainability is the key ingredient, I think, for a lot of 17, 18-year-olds now when they're thinking about their future and the future world. It would be great for them to be associated with a university that is ranked number one in the world for that. Interesting. So I won't labor too much on these slides. We have quite a lot of information, but some of the rankings I just wanted to show you here in terms of faculty areas on Times Higher Education and where we sit. That might be top 400 or 300 faculties in the world. It's impressive, and it's a reflection of the work we put into creating a great learning environment for our students. QS, again, faculty rankings there, and the five-star ratings in terms of employability. That's what students are after. Facilities, world-class facilities, teaching, 5-star world-class teaching as well, along with other things like inclusiveness, innovation, internationalization. Subject rankings I've got here from QS. Many students from Pakistan choose programs in the area of commerce and business, accounting, finance. We're a university that offers medicine. Not many universities offer that in Australia. We also note Pakistani students are interested in computer science, IT, and engineering. We feature and we rank within the top universities in the world, top 2% on QS as well. And the Shanghai rankings are also reflective of our academic and teaching strength. We find particularly in Pakistan, like I said, we have undergraduate degrees in business and accounting with various majors and specializations. Engineering is very popular for students from Pakistan, and again, a range of different specializations, civil, mechanical, electrical engineering, things like robotics and mechatronics. These are very important choices for students. ICT, computer science, the big majors at the moment we're offering in terms of artificial intelligence, cybersecurity. We do very well in terms of those programs. Information systems, where IT meets the world of commerce. Doctor of Medicine, for those star performing A-level students and IB, International Baccalaureate students, they have opportunities at our institution as well. Psychology is popular from Pakistan. Science, of course, a whole range from chemistry, biology, physics, agricultural science, food security, forensic science. We have a great array of different science majors as well, and the medical science space. Nursing, not the most popular choice for students from Pakistan. However, it's becoming more and more of a course applied for across the world. In fact, there's a great demand for healthcare, clinical healthcare at every level We offer courses also in physiotherapy and occupational therapy, but we find a lot of students choose nursing, a very well paid and very well respected occupation, particularly here in Australia. Social work is another growing area for students training, and there are great working options here in Australia for all of these degrees. I'll just hover a little while over some of the key programs. Business, undergraduate business. I just want to highlight on this page, our School of Business is AACSB accredited. This is an accreditation associated with only a few business schools around the world. There's about 18 or 19 schools in Australia that have this accreditation, and Western Sydney is one of them. You can see on these pages and these slides we'll share with you, the Australian dollar amounts are quoted here per year. You can see the specializations also that we're offering, things like human resource management, accounting, business, marketing, economics, property investment, a very important consideration for students. Some of the information here, we teach in the center of Parramatta, which is the kind of little satellite area in our city. We've got very strong accreditation for our accounting and finance degrees. You can see there for Bachelor of Accounting. And there's a little indicator there in terms of median salary for graduate employment from undergraduate degrees, around $54,000 per year. Great outcomes for students. Our accreditations listed, as I mentioned, accounting, finance, where there is professional accreditation, we look for it. And we do a huge amount of work as well with associated businesses for work placements for students, for business projects. We bring the world of real work into the university buildings and into the classrooms so that students can get real world experience before they graduate. This is our School of Business setting. It's right in the center of the Parramatta area, Parramatta City in Sydney. And we teach, this is the HQ, if you like, of our School of Business. Very new building. One of the nice, unique features of Western Sydney is that the top floors of our business building are leased out to some of our partners, one of which is PricewaterhouseCoopers. We've also got partners there from the Parramatta City Council and also from the Sydney Water Authority. And our students will go there to do work placements, internships, and sometimes paid placements as well for our international students. So a great opportunity for students studying business at Western Sydney. Engineering is probably one of the bigger courses that students choose from Pakistan. And you can see the costs per year, 33,000 Australian, and the range of specializations we have. The key thing to mention here as well is that our engineering degrees are Engineers Australia accredited, the 4-year honours degree with a built-in industrial experience, giving the students recognition on the Washington Accord engineering arrangement globally, so that this qualification will be recognized back in Pakistan as well, along with many, many countries around the world, including the United States and the UK. Students studying engineering at Western will have a global opportunity for employment, and a great standing in terms of ranking. And as I mentioned, that 12-week industrial experience, students will be graduating already with 3 months of professional engineering industrial experience under their belt from Western Sydney. Some of the partners that where they do their placements, and some of the strong outlooks in terms of earnings and global demand for employment in engineering. Engineering's an occupation in demand in Australia. Students have good opportunities for professional employment post-graduation. ICT and computing, again, professional accreditation from Australian Computer Society at professional level. Great facilities, great teaching staff, and good opportunities for specialization choice. Cyber security, I mentioned programming, artificial intelligence, entertainment computing, mobile computing, networking. These are some of the critical key specialist areas that students are choosing. Nursing, again, fully accredited. Students who graduate from our degree will automatically qualify for nursing registration in Australia at the end of their degree. This 3-year degree program will then qualify them to work. An RN status, registered nurse status from Australia, is globally recognized with full accreditation. Multi-million-dollar simulation equipment and facilities for our nursing training, and roughly 14 weeks of clinical practice across the 3 years of study. Costings, again, around about the $30,000, $32,000 mark, and of course, a higher entry level with IELTS. Doctor of Medicine, more expensive, 5-year degree, similar to the MBBS that's offered, I know, across a large part of South Asia. Doctor of Medicine for us requires A-level, A-grade, A-star or A-grade A-levels with IELTS 7.0 in each band. But students can apply. We have about 35 international places a year available for your students to apply for, just in the March intake only. And students will be able to access that degree. So if you've got those high-performing A-level students whose parents are particularly well off in terms of their financial capacity, because it's an expensive course, then MBBS Doctor of Medicine could be an option for them. Psychology, highly ranked at our institution, a 4-year honors degree or a 3-year without honors, very, very well recognized. And psychology at Western Sydney is a particularly strong program. Sabi, you've got your hand up. Did you have a question?
Sorry,
we've got to go a bit faster.
Yes, because we.
No worries.
Yeah,
let me just finish, because I want to get to, I'll leave the psychology, the science rankings. I'll just take you through. We do a lot of work to help students find jobs on campus. Employability is a key component of what our students do. We've got many relationships, as I've mentioned. A little snapshot of our facilities, again, accommodation, affordable, available, and very, very nice and comfortable accommodation for students, with student support as well. Fatima, I'll just take everyone through very quickly. Undergraduate, typically from A-level or intermediate, you can see we're looking, 3 A-levels need to be completed, or an intermediate score of 80%, IB 24 points. These are the base requirements for entry into our bachelor degrees. And most of our bachelor degrees require a 6.5 with a 6 in each band from IELTS. Some students take Pearson PTE academic, but that's the option there. Fatima, you can quickly talk them through the scholarship cutoffs, please.
Sure, thanks, Garrett. So at Western Sydney University, we have diverse range of scholarships starting from 3,000 Australian dollars multi-year scholarship up to 50%. So 3,000 for every student who meets the eligibility, minimum eligibility entry requirement, will be getting 3,000 Australian dollar scholarship. The second one, which is 6,000 Australian dollar multi-year scholarship, students with A-level background needs to score at least 11 from their 3 GCE A-level subjects. Minimum 11 points make them eligible for the 6,000 multi-year scholarship. For all the IB students, for 3,000 Australian dollar scholarship, we need 26 points. And for 6,000 multi-year scholarship, we need 28 points from the IB background students. Then we have 50% scholarship, which is a vice chancellor scholarship, and that requires a higher grades and higher CGPA from the last degree of the student. We need at least from A-level student background for the 50% scholarship. Higher ATRs, we need students with the A, straight A's, or at least A stars from 3 consecutive subjects. For the IB students, we need at least 36 points to get them eligible for the 50% scholarship. So these are the entry requirements to get our all type of scholarships, 3,000 to up to 50% scholarship. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Fatima. So yeah, that brings us to the end of the session. And I'm sorry, we've just gone over time a little bit, but thank you, everyone. There have been a couple of questions that have come in, and any student applying for our institution or any student that's interested in making an application is more than welcome to reach out to myself and Fatima. We're here to support all Pakistani applicants who are interested in Western Sydney. I just wanted to make mention, as I said, I'll be from Australia into Pakistan in the last week or so of September. And I look forward to any opportunity to come and visit Beaconhouse schools across Pakistan. Myself and Fatima can come along. I'll be with a couple of my academic team from the schools of business and engineering and ICT. And so we would be gladly willing to come and visit a Beaconhouse and talk to any graduating cohorts of students or any A-level grade students that you have. Fatima and mine email addresses are listed here, and we do welcome you to connect with us at any point at all. Look, I can see salutation. Fatima's put a WhatsApp in there as well. Thank you, Fatima, for that. And I think for the team broadly at Beaconhouse, thank you for your time today. I know you've had a lot of listening to do, and we can finish on that note. Over to you, Sabi.
Thank you so much, Gareth, and thank you so much, Fatma. Due to the strict, time restrictions, I'm sorry I couldn't give you more time, but I think the important information has been provided. And of course, we have shared all the contact details of both you and Fatma with the people present. It's been wonderful. Thank you so much. And I really want to thank Beaconhouse Career Advisors for their patience to attend this very long session. I really do that. So thank you so much, everybody, and have a great rest of the day. And thank you so much, Gareth, once again, and Fatma. Take good care. And the recording of this session will be available for all of you sometime next week. I'll share it with Faria and Rizwan, and they will forward the recordings to all of you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Sabi.
you. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you very much, Sabi. Thank you, everyone.